Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Hey guys. Hey. We are doing a video, obviously.
Roman, Persian.
We'll do a subscribe, a like. My name's Connor, if you're new. A little out of breath. I was doing pull-ups. The original link to the video, top of the description, from Dr. Explained. Let's go. So, strongest country of every century, first century AD to the present. Let's go.
Persian and Indian empires.
Yeah, obviously Rome in the beginning.
The most powerful empires between the 1st and 5th centuries were the Roman, Persian, and Indian empires. Roman Empire, originating in 27 BCE, was a powerful ancient state centered around Rome. It expanded through military conquests and became a hub of culture, law, and engineering. Notable emperors include Augustus, Nero, and Marcus Aurelius. The empire faced decline due to economic issues, invasions, and internal strife, leading to its
Wait, did he say Nero was popular?
Culture, law, and engineering. Notable emperors include Augustus,
notable.
Nero, and Marcus.
I heard Nero, guys, wasn't that bad early on. And even afterwards, some of the stuff he did might have been exaggerated by later people. He does look like anyways.
Marcus Aurelius.
Be gone,
empire
leftist.
faced decline due to economic issues, invasions, and internal strife. The empire faced decline due to economic
The struggle.
issues, invasions, and internal strife, leading to its eventual fall in 476 CE, marking the end of ancient Rome. The Persian Empire had two different forms. The first
See? When did he say the Roman Empire ended, guys? 476 CE. Not the Byzantines. The Byzantines aren't Romans.
CE, marking
So many people are going to get mad at me, but I was going to keep a straight face and just see the comments, but anyways, let's go. I'm not saying the Byzantines weren't Romans. They were. But as we think of the Roman Empire, they weren't the Roman Empire, if that makes sense. So they were Romans, but not the Roman Empire. Is that fair, or are you still mad at it?
Of ancient Rome. The Persian Empire had two different forms. The first was the Parthian Empire, and the second was the Sassanid Empire. The Parthian Empire, thriving from the 3rd century BC to the 3rd century AC in ancient Iran, was a major power along the Silk Road. Known for its skilled cavalry, the Parthians successfully resisted Roman expansion. But the empire faced internal conflicts and ultimately fell to the Sasanian Empire in the 3rd century AC. Sasanian Empire, spanning from 224
after Christ?
to 651 AD, represented a significant chapter in ancient Persian history. Renowned for its sophisticated administrative system and distinctive art, it engaged in prolonged conflicts with the Roman Empire, shaping the
They were taken down by the Islamic armies, right?
geopolitics of the region. The empire's rich cultural legacy, including its association with Zoroastrianism, faced a transformative moment with the Arab-Muslim conquest in 651 AD, marking the end of Sasanian rule. In the 6th century, the Byzantine Empire was the strongest. The Byzantine Empire, originating in 330 AD and lasting until 1453, was the continuation of the Eastern Roman Empire with its capital at Byzantium, later known as Constantinople.
Wow, wait, I'm an idiot. Oh, crap. So I always think of the start of the Byzantine Empire as the fall of Western Rome, but they were already separated. Okay, they were definitely Romans.
Established by Emperor Constantine the Great, it became a cultural and religious center. The Byzantines faced numerous challenges, including invasions by various forces, and played a crucial role in the spread of Christianity. The Great Schism in 1054 marked a split between the Eastern Orthodox and Roman Catholic churches. Eventually, the empire succumbed to the Ottoman Turks in 1453, leading to the end of the medieval period. In the 7th century, the Byzantine Empire was still strong, but another powerful empire appeared, the Umayyad Caliphate. Umayyad Caliphate was an early Islamic empire that existed from 661 to 750 CE. It was established after the assassination of Ali, the 4th Caliph, and had its capital in Damascus. The Umayyads expanded their rule across the Middle East, North Africa, and Spain, creating a vast empire. Known for architectural achievements like the Dome of the Rock, the Caliphate faced internal strife, particularly the rivalry between the Umayyad and Abbasid factions.
I feel like the early Muslim conquests and like the Umayyads, they seem to do like Mongolian or Alexander the Great type of insane land grabs over short periods. Maybe not as immediate or not as fast growing empire as Alexander the Great did, but it collapsed after he died. And it seems like the early Muslim caliphates and conquests just rolled over people and actually held on to them for quite a bit.
And the Abbasids eventually overthrew the Umayyads, leading to the end of their caliphate. In the 8th century, the most powerful empire was the Abbasid Caliphate. In the 9th century, the Byzantine Empire became the strongest again. The Tang dynasty also appeared. The Tang dynasty, ruling China from...
I wonder what criteria he's using, you know? Or if there
618 to
is
907
debate
AD
that they might not
was a
be.
prosperous era known for...
I gotta stop talking.
The Byzantine
Tang
Empire
dynasty
became the strongest again. The Tang dynasty also appeared. The Tang dynasty, ruling China from 618 to 907 AD, was a prosperous era known for cultural achievements and economic growth. Under leaders like Emperor Taizong and Empress Wu Zetian, the dynasty expanded territory along the Silk Road and embraced Buddhism. Advances in poetry, art, and technology flourished, including the invention of woodblock printing. However, internal rebellions and external pressures led to its decline and eventual fall in the early 10th century.
Teletubbies?
In the 10th century, the Byzantine Empire was still the strongest, but a new competitor appeared, the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire was a complex political entity that evolved over centuries. It originated from the Carolingian Empire under Charlemagne in the 8th and 9th centuries.
You know, the classic thing, you've heard it a million times, probably. It wasn't really Holy or Roman or Empire or an empire. So maybe the places within the Holy Roman Empire were just that powerful, but seeing as it wasn't one cohesive thing where you could just like order an all-out attack with your Holy Roman Empire army, is that correct? Then can you really be called the most powerful? Or
after Charlemagne's death, his empire was divided among his heirs, leading to a period of fragmentation in Europe. In 962 AD, Otto I was crowned as the first Holy Roman Emperor by Pope John XII, marking the beginning of the Holy Roman Empire in its recognized form. Throughout its history, the Holy Roman Empire faced challenges from external threats, such as invasions by the Mongols and Ottomans, as well as internal conflicts among its rulers and territorial disputes among its constituent states. Despite these challenges, the empire persisted for over a millennium, adapting to changing political and social dynamics in Europe. The Holy Roman Empire reached its zenith under Emperor Charles V in the 16th century, when it controlled vast territories across Europe, including Spain, the Netherlands, Italy, and parts of Germany. However, the empire's power began to decline in the following centuries due to religious conflicts such as the Protestant Reformation.
Now, did he say it and I just missed it? Was there an army of the Holy Roman Empire? Or was it just like armies within the Holy Roman Empire, but not one cohesive army that you could just say, okay, march? Like, is that right?
As well as geopolitical shifts and the rise of nation states. In the 11th century, a new powerful empire emerged, the Seljuk Empire. The Seljuk Empire was a medieval Sunni Muslim empire that emerged in the 11th century, spanning parts of Central Asia, the Middle East, and Anatolia, modern-day Turkey. It was founded by the Seljuk Turks, a nomadic people who migrated from Central Asia to the Middle East. The Seljuks played a...
That's why Turkmenistan shares I always forget which one's Uzbekistan and which one's... I think this one's Turkestan or Turkmenistan. This one is Uzbekistan. I'm not positive. But the reason that they have the name, the Turk, is because of their shared origin, right?
People who migrated from Central Asia to the Middle East. The Seljuks played a significant role in shaping the political landscape of the region during the Middle Ages. Under the leadership of their first sultan, Tugril Beg, and his successor, Alp Arslan, the Seljuks expanded rapidly, conquering territories from the Abbasid Caliphate, the Byzantine Empire, and other smaller states. The Battle of Manzikert in 1071, where Alp Arslan defeated the Byzantine Empire, marked a turning point in the Seljuk expansion.
I find it kind of funny. I just spit on my kid. That the areas that are just left out of conquest are the most important areas today. That, like, the one area that doesn't seem people don't really care about, you know, is what is the most important. And nowadays you have Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, giant oil fields. You have Qatar. You have I'm not sure if Oman has a lot of oil. I'm assuming they do just because they're in the area. UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, and the Saudi Arabia oil fields, like the most lucrative part of the entire region today, just didn't seem important back then, which is crazy. It makes sense. Oil wasn't sought after.
Empire and other smaller states. The Battle of Manzikert in 1071, where Alp Arslan defeated the Byzantine Empire, marked a turning point in the Seljuk expansion and paved the way for their dominance in Anatolia. However, internal strife, external pressures from the Crusades, and conflicts with other Muslim powers such as the Fatimids and the Ghaznavids weakened the Seljuk Empire over time. By the late 12th century, the empire had fragmented into smaller states, paving the way for the rise of new powers such as the Khwarezmian Empire and the Ayyubid Sultanate.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
For the rise of new powers such as the Khwarezmian Empire.
Khwarezmian. A lot of the time I'll have like recognized or I've heard the name before, but won't not know a lot about it. I really don't even, it doesn't ring a bell to me.
Empire and the Ayyubid Sultanate. In the 12th century, nothing changed. But in the 13th century, everything changed. The Mongol Empire...
Sorry, what did that say? There is no meme.
Rise of new powers such as the Khwarezmian Empire and the...
There is no meme. Hand over Jerusalem. That's funny.
Ayyubid Sultanate. In the 12th century, nothing changed. But in the 13th century, everything changed.
Mongols?
The Mongol Empire emerged. The Mongol Empire was a massive empire.
They got so much further into Europe. Oh my god, blackface. I just blurted that out for no reason. They got so much further into Europe than I thought.
Genghis Khan in the early 13th century. It became the largest contiguous empire in history, spanning Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. Known for their skilled horseback warfare, the Mongols conquered vast territories, fostering trade, cultural exchange, and religious tolerance. After Genghis Khan's death, cultural exchange and religious tolerance.
Do you guys think that evilness is based on the amount of people you cause the death of? Or do you think evilness requires like percentage of the alive population at the time? Does it require like evil intent? Like, can a stupid cause of a ruler that kills 10 million people as evil as someone who just straight out intended to kill 10 million? For the people who killed, it didn't matter if they were after the evil or the stupid guy. But I just wonder, you know. Anyways. I mean, I'm not saying that Genghis Khan was unintentionally killing people.
After Genghis Khan's death, his descendants continued expanding the empire. However, internal conflicts and external pressures eventually led to the empire's fragmentation in the late 14th century. In the 14th century, new powerful empires emerged. The Ottoman Empire.
This guy's making me, I subscribed, right? Yeah, this guy's making me laugh.
The Ming Dynasty. 14th century, new powerful empires emerged. The Ottoman Empire, the Ming Dynasty, and the Golden Horde.
I know nothing about Indian or Chinese, like Far East and Southeast Asian history. I know nothing, and I want to learn more.
The Ottoman Empire, founded around 1299, was a major Islamic state that spanned Southeast Europe, Western Asia, and North Africa. It reached its peak under Suleiman the Magnificent in the 16th century. Known for religious tolerance,
I love the tangerine for the hat instead of onion.
Military strength. The Ottomans lasted until World War I, when the empire dissolved. The Republic of Turkey, led by Mustafa Kemal.
Guys, I don't care. When I don't see
World War I, when the empire.
Anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay. I want to go to war. I want to go to war. I've seen that. Austro-Hungary. Austro-Hungary.
The Republic of Turkey, led by Mustafa
Isn't it
Kemal
Turkey
Ataturk,
now?
emerged from its ashes in 1923. Ming Dynasty ruled China from 1368 to 1644.
Persian loanwords, Arabic alphabet, religious fundamentalism, sultanate, Marxism, feudalism. I love how I don't gasp at like feudalism or religious fundamentalism, but Marxism is like Armenian revolutionaries, ethnic separatism, Iltihat-Vituraki, the Young Turks, multiculturalism, dreams of David Lloyd George. Who is that? David Lloyd George.
In 1923, Ming Dynasty ruled China from 1368 to 1644. It was established by Emperor Hongwu and is known for its stability, economic prosperity, and cultural achievements. Also, the Great Wall of China was rebuilt during this time. And the Ming Dynasty is also famous for its maritime expeditions led by Zheng He. However, internal strife, economic issues, and external threats contributed to its decline, leading to the establishment of the Qing Dynasty in 1644. Golden Horde Khanate was a Mongol state in Eastern Europe, existing from the mid-13th to the late 14th century. Established by Batu Khan, a grandson of Genghis Khan, it controlled
Why
territory
is everyone a black man? What is he doing?
spanning from the Volga River to the Carpathian Mountains.
The Huns, I guess they were most powerful. Do you guys think the Huns caused the collapse of the Western Roman Empire? Not directly, but like caused, like flicked the domino that made like previous outside people like rush in out of fear of the Mongols, or maybe like caused the split or something. Is that
Golden Horde had a significant
not the Mongols, the Huns?
impact on the region's politics, trade, and culture. It gradually weakened due to internal strife and external pressures, leading to its decline by the end of the 14th century. In the 15th century, the Ottoman Empire grew stronger, while powerful new empires emerged in different regions: the Inca Empire, the Timurid, and the Mughal Empire. Inca Empire was the largest empire in pre-Columbian America,
Bizarro.
stretching along the western coast of South America from present-day Colombia to Chile. It was founded around 1438 and lasted until the Spanish conquest in the 16th century. The Inca civilization flourished due to advanced engineering, such as their extensive road network
No road networks,
and a
yeah.
sophisticated administrative system. They're best known for their remarkable
They had these really interesting message signs that they would bring to, like a string or something like that. They had some really like sophisticated, interesting roads, like he said, but I forget if it was currency or messages. They would have like a certain knotted string or something. I said that really wrong.
stone masonry, including the famous site of Machu Picchu and their system of communication, which relied on the quipu, a series of knotted strings
I was not confident that I said it right, but I did. I remembered.
used for record keeping.
That's so smart. I feel like that's so smart because I feel like a knot, they're both susceptible to burning, right? But a knot, I think, is so much more durable than a piece of parchment or something, you know? So I think that's genius. It's like Morse code, I would guess.
The
on
empire was
string.
characterized by its centralized government, with the ruler, known as the Sapa Inca, considered both a political and
Sad
religious
Pepe.
leader. The Inca Empire fell to Spanish conquistadors led by Francisco
Pizarro.
Pizarro in 1533, primarily due to factors such as European diseases, internal rebellions, and superior Spanish military technology.
They had such a debuff, the natives, like they just. So is this how this works, guys? You know how a lot of Europeans, like a lot of the African map remained blank on the inside, right? Because whenever Europeans would travel inwards into like the more forested, jungly inwards areas of Africa, they didn't have the immunity that the native Africans had to a lot of African diseases like malaria and stuff. Not saying they're completely immune to these places, but they're definitely better because they've been exposed to it more. It did that same concept that the African immune system was just stronger to those diseases than the European immune system. Did that same concept that mean like it's the same, but in the New World, except now the New World people had even lower immune to a lot of European diseases because all of these diseases that were killing Europeans and people on mainland Eurasia, the old world, you know, killed people off and everything in the beginning, but you built immunity over time and stuff. And then you go to a place where their history, genetic history, to being 10,000 years removed from mainland Europe, just hadn't faced those yet. And so it's just boom, like you're done.
The Timurid Empire, founded by Tamerlane in the late 14th century, spanned Central Asia and Persia.
Timur, Genghis Khan. I get so confused. Who was
For its
who?
architectural achievements and cultural patronage, it flourished in the 15th century under Timur's descendants, including Ulugh Beg. But the empire weakened after internal conflicts and external
Ren and
pressures,
Stimpy.
eventually dissolving in the early 16th century. Mughal Empire, founded in 1526 by
This is
Babur,
Islamic
was a vast and
India?
influential empire in South Asia. It reached its zenith under rulers like Akbar, known for religious tolerance and cultural achievements.
So they were a Muslim, right? And was in this period where, you know how a lot of Southeastern Asian and I don't really know what to call places like the Philippines and Indonesia and Papua New Guinea, because I don't think they're like in that Oceania group, but they're not on mainland Asia. So we need like a new name for those. Like the between Australia, Vietnam area island. But you know how Indonesia is has the most Muslim people in it from any country in the world? I wonder if it was through this Muslim Mughal holdings in India that allowed a lot of that expansion of Islam over here, or did it happen much further back just through trade routes and along the coast stuff?
And the Taj Mahal was built during Shah Jahan's reign, but the empire declined due to internal strife and external invasions, leading to its formal end in 1858 with the British annexation
Who's that?
of India.
Azurk?
In the 16th century, the Ottoman Empire was still the most powerful, but two new powerful empires emerged: the Spanish and Portuguese empires. The Spanish Empire was a major global power from the late 15th
Show
to the
Spain some
19th
love.
century, with its peak during the 16th and 17th centuries. Spain's exploration and conquests led to an empire that spanned the
One of my favorite
17th centuries.
Disney
Spain's
movie
exploration
villains.
and
Oh, it's
conquest-
not Disney movie. It's DreamWorks, I think. El Dorado hiccup. Wow, slaves hiccups. But I thought he was so badass growing up. This guy.
Conquests led to an empire that spanned the Americas, parts of Asia, Africa, and the Pacific.
Kind of in the same way that the Mulan villain was. What was his name? Shere Khan? No, that's Mowgli. The villain, the main villain in Mulan. I thought he was so badass. And Kerchak, or the Tarzan guy.
Famous for figures like Christopher Columbus and Hernan
boy.
Cortez, Spain amassed wealth from colonies through activities like gold and silver mining. However, internal issues, conflicts, and changing global dynamics contributed to the decline of the empire, marked by the loss of territories and influence over time. The Second Portuguese Empire refers to Portugal's global influence from the 15th to the 20th century.
Can I tell you one of the reasons that the hate for Columbus annoys me? I know he did some bad stuff for sure, right? But if you criticize Columbus and anyone says like, "Oh, I like Columbus," or mentions Columbus and you're like, "Bastard. How could you?" Whatever. It's like if I bring up someone like Magellan or Pizarro or Cortez and you don't have the same reaction, or a lot of other people, like when people don't know a lot of historical figures, or even people around the age of exploration and the time that Columbus lived, and there's something that annoys me, that when I bring up Columbus, there's such this visceral reaction to him. But when I bring up some other people that are equally, if not more evil, they don't know. They just don't know. And there's something about that makes me mad. He's fashionable, and most people know who he is. And so they're just like, ugh, Columbus. Yeah. It's like, yeah, if you know other people that did stuff and you call them out too, fine. But I hate like the... anyways,
Hernan Cortez.
not saying he was an amazing guy, but he was an important historical figure. And unless you're going to call out other important historical figures when I mention them, then I don't want to hear you.
Spain amassed wealth from colonies through activities like gold and silver mining. However, internal issues, conflicts, and changing global dynamics contributed to the decline of the empire, marked by the loss of territories and influence over time. The Second Portuguese Empire refers to Portugal's global influence from the 15th to the 20th
Play Doom
century.
music.
It emerged after the Age of Exploration, marked by explorers like Vasco da Gama and Pedro Álvares Cabral. Portugal established trade routes, colonies, and a vast maritime network reaching Africa, Asia, and the Americas. The empire declined due to economic challenges and conflicts, with the formal dissolution of its last overseas territory in 2002.
Macau?
In the 17th century, a very powerful
Was it
empire
Macau?
in China emerged, the Qing dynasty. Qing dynasty was the last imperial dynasty in China, ruling from 1644 to 1912. It was established by
That's a beefy boy. So they had Tibet. So did they have similar manifest destiny that the US had in that, like, just like pushing through and conquering, what's this place called? Xinjiang and Tibet. Same, just like the US and Russia did. It's like all these countries just flush over and conquer all of these places.
dynasty in China, ruling from 1644 to 1912. It was established by the Manchu people after they overthrew the Ming dynasty.
I'm not saying that the Chinese manifest destiny and the Russian were as brutal and deathly as the American manifest destiny. I'd imagine that's the case. That so I'm not trying to say America's not bad. That was bad.
The Qing dynasty expanded China's territory, reaching its greatest extent under Emperor Kangxi and Qianlong. However, internal issues, including corruption and resistance to foreign influence, contributed to its decline. The dynasty faced challenges like the Opium Wars and the Taiping Rebellion, and in 1912, the Qing dynasty fell with the establishment of the Republic of China.
Is the Taiping Rebellion the Christian one, where the guy thought he was like a brother of Jesus or descendant, and like 30 to 40 million people died, which is crazy.
China. In the 18th century, the British and Russian empires were the strongest. The British Empire was a vast historical empire that existed from the 16th to the mid-20th century. It originated with overseas exploration, trade, and colonization by England. And at its height, the empire spanned continents, including territories in North America, Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, and the Pacific. The British Empire played a significant role in global history, shaping cultures, economies, and political systems. But over time, decolonization led to the empire's decline, with many former colonies gaining independence. Russia
I think the British Empire is the greatest empire to ever exist. And the reason, I know the Romans had a lot of influence, but the reason is that I feel like the British Empire influenced the most amount of the world than any other empire. Not that they were just, I'm not saying that they were stronger relative to their powers next to them. Maybe other empires like, I don't know if the U.S. is an empire, but we're kind of, are we? Is it? But I think they were not so much that I'm talking about the relative strength, but just their impact on the world today, around the world, in many countries. I think it's just unmatched.
The Russian Empire was a vast historical state that existed from the
Gotta
late
respect the
17th
British
century
Empire.
until the Russian Revolution in 1917. It began with the reign of Peter the Great and expanded to become one of the largest empires, covering Eastern Europe, Northern Asia, and Alaska. The empire played a significant role in European geopolitics and global affairs. It went through periods of modernization and cultural growth, but faced internal challenges and eventual collapse during the revolutions of 1917, leading to the establishment of the Soviet Union. In the 19th century,
Why do I think this Bugs Bunny?
Revolutions of 1917, leading to the
Why do I think this Bugs Bunny is so funny? I don't get it.
establishment of the Soviet Union. In the 19th century, there were many powerful
Wait,
17, leading to the establishment of the
Peasants, you have freed us. Bolsheviks. Oh, I wouldn't say freed, more like under new management.
Soviet Union. In the 19th century, there were many powerful empires, but the most dangerous of them was the French Empire. which had two forms. The first was the Napoleonic Empire, and the
My
second
boy.
was the Second French Colonial Empire. The Napoleonic Empire, also known as the French Empire, was established by Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon rose to power rapidly, becoming first consul of France in 1799 and later declaring himself emperor in 1804. His empire encompassed much of continental Europe at its height, including France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Italy, Spain, parts of Germany, Poland, and various satellite states.
Wait, but so wasn't he like the head general starting in like 1800? So he wasn't the emperor in 1800, but I've watched some Napoleonic videos, and it seems like he wasn't like Napoleon the top guy until like 1800. Am I right there?
Including France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Italy, Spain, parts of Germany, Poland, and various satellite states. His conquests were characterized by swift military victories and the implementation of revolutionary
Blitzkrieg.
ideas. Napoleon's rule brought about the of revolutionary
More like under new management.
ideas. Napoleon's rule brought about significant political, legal, and social reforms, collectively known as the Napoleonic Code, which influenced legal systems across Europe and beyond. However, Napoleon's expansionist policies and military campaigns sparked widespread conflict across Europe. He faced coalitions of European powers determined to halt his expansion, leading to a series of wars known as the Napoleonic Wars. Despite early military successes, Napoleon's empire began to unravel after his disastrous invasion of Russia in 1812 and subsequent defeats in battles such as Leipzig and Waterloo.
I was told two things you should never do as the leader of a country is print too much money. Bad. Don't invade Russia in the winter. Russia is insane. Like Russia, they always seem like sometimes the least competent of the ones in the war, but they're just their HP bar, their health bar is just 20 times larger than any other places, and you can conquer Moscow, and it's like, whatever, we're just going to set it on fire and wait till winter. Sucks to suck. It's like, do you have to go all the way to the Urals before they capitulate? Yep.
He was exiled to the island of Elba in 1814 after his first abdication, but briefly returned to power during the 100 Days in 1815 before being defeated at the Battle of Waterloo,
Grouchy.
which led to the fall of his empire.
Thanks,
Second French
Grouchy.
colonial empire refers to France's overseas possessions from the mid-19th century to the
Napoleon
mid-20th century.
III?
It included territories in Africa, Asia, the Caribbean, and the Pacific. France expanded its empire during the scramble for Africa and established colonies in Southeast Asia.
Bonjour.
Notable possessions included French Indochina, Algeria, and various Pacific islands. The empire faced challenges during World War II.
That's like the American meme nowadays. Is why don't you like liberty? Don't you want it?
Algeria,
F
and various
you.
Pacific islands. The empire faced challenges during World War II and eventually underwent decolonization in the mid-20th century, as many territories gained independence. The most powerful countries in the 20th century were the USA, Germany, the Soviet Union, the Empire of Japan, and Nazi Germany. German colonial empire. The Soviet Union, the Empire of Japan, and Nazi Germany.
What about the UK and France? Or definitely, why not the UK?
German colonial empire established Union, the Empire of Japan, and Nazi Germany. German colonial empire, established in the late 19th century, included territories in Africa, Asia, and the Pacific, marking
So they had Tanzania, they had Namibia, they had Cameroon, they had Benin, or is that Togo? And the northern part of Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. Anywhere else?
marking Germany's late entry into imperial competition. Notable colonies were German East Africa, German Southwest Africa, and Samoa. Facing challenges during World War
I think you could add the US to some of this, because the the greatest ancestral group claimed by Americans, it's not English. It's not Spanish. It's German. Especially like Texas, especially like here and here. A lot of Germans. And just everywhere.
Asia and the Pacific, marking Germany's late entry into imperial competition. Notable colonies were German East Africa, German Southwest Africa, and Samoa. Facing challenges during World War I, Germany lost its colonies as part of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919. This marked the end of its colonial ventures, with former territories distributed among the Allied powers. And of course, after years, the Austrian painter appeared. Nazi Germany, under the leadership of the Austrian painter from 1933 to 1945, was a totalitarian state that aimed at establishing a pure Aryan authoritarian.
Guys, when are we gonna reach the time where like you don't have to blur this stuff or just call him the mustache man? Like I don't get it. Like this is history. We're not in a KKK meeting. You know, it's history. But I get it with YouTube, 100% get it. But yeah, like I just get tired of it because it assumes that I'm not trying to learn history and I'm trying to become a neo-Nazi. Like that's what it feels like you're telling me. It's like, oh, if we show you this, you're gonna be a Nazi. It's like, no, I just see it the same as I do the symbol of any other country in World War II as the symbol of their country. Like, because I want to learn history. I don't care about any accusations that people are going to give to me because I don't think something like this should be blurred. I think it's ridiculous.
Empire. Fueled by extreme
I get it for the video,
the regime aggressively expanded
because of
through
YouTube.
territorial conquests, triggering the devastating conflict of World War II.
Oh, those are meteors. Oh my God, they're the 2 atomic bombs. I just realized that. Oh my God. It took me so long to realize. That is great. Because I thought there were cannons at first, just like badly drawn ship cannons. But you have Japan, the US as the meteors, 2 meteors, Japan as the dinosaur. That is fantastic. Okay. I like how they made us the big T-Rex. Oh, this is so perfect. And what is Poland? What is that? What is that? What is it? Is that a horse or something?
The regime's control extended through strict censorship, propaganda, and oppressive policies. However, military defeats and the Allied forces' advancement led to the eventual downfall of the Nazi Germany in 1945. The Empire of Japan existed from the late 19th century to the end of World War II in 1945. It was a constitutional monarchy with an emperor as the symbolic figurehead and a government led by elected officials. Japan rapidly modernized during the Meiji Restoration, becoming an industrial and military power.
Okay, you're an American troop. Okay, guys, you're about to be deployed. Would you rather be deployed to Europe to fight Germany or be deployed to the Pacific to fight Japan? Like, you had to pick one. I'm picking Germany. I'd rather not fight both. It's going to be horrifying. But I don't want to fight Japan. And it seems like there's a lot more hot areas they're in, jungle, a lot of it, and just a fanatic army that made German fanaticism look like nothing. And so it's going to be terrifying either way. I don't want to be sent to the Pacific. Please don't make me fight the Japanese.
In the 20th century, Japan engaged in imperial expansion, leading to conflicts like the Russo-Japanese War, and Japan played a significant role in World War II, surrendering in 1945 after atomic bombings. Post-war, Japan adopted a constitutional monarchy, embracing democracy.
Hey guys, do you think that it was right, that America made the right choice of dropping the bombs? Or I love this argument. And the thing is like, a lot of the stuff I hear is, well, first of all, is that they seem like the possible deaths of Americans in the invasion could be up to like 1 million because of how fanatic the Japanese have been, even the civilian population is just ready to blow themselves up to kill you. And so that's a big thing. But then on the counterpoints is the Soviets were coming as well, and maybe if the Japanese just realized the Soviet encroachment into northern Japan while America goes through southern Japan, maybe that would have caused less deaths than the atomic bombs, right? And I know America didn't want it to be like Germany, where they had to split up occupation of the territory with three other powers, France, Germany, France, U.S., and USSR. And so the Americans just wanted Japan on their own. And so maybe, and the side is like, they also might have just wanted to show the USSR that they have these and they're willing to use it on a civilian, whatever, giant city, right? And so part of me is like, did they do it to save lives? Or did they do it to show the USSR that they have this and will use it and will get full occupation rights of Japan? You know, I'm wondering what you guys think.
Atomic bombings. Post-war Japan adopted a constitutional monarchy, embracing democracy, and renouncing military aggression in its 1947 constitution. The Soviet Union, or USSR...
Well, this is the current flag of the Japanese Navy, even right now in 2024, right? It's still used as their main Navy flag. But I do think this, unlike the swastika in Germany that originated with the Nazi Party implementing it as the flag in Germany, but I believe the Rising Sun flag, this one, was used much prior to the horrific Imperial Japanese Army in World War II. So I feel like it's different, just, you know, because it,
military aggression in its 1947 constitution. The Soviet Union, or USSR, was a vast socialist state that spanned from Eastern Europe to Asia. It emerged after the Russian Revolution of 1917, which saw the Bolsheviks, led by Vladimir Lenin, seize power and establish a communist regime. The Soviet government implemented a planned economy where the state controlled all major industries and resources. This centralized control aimed to achieve rapid industrialization and build a classless society. The Cold War rival to achieve
classless
industrialization and build.
Isn't it strange when leaders propose a classless society, and then their leaders, the people in power, end up living lavishly in higher class? It's like, yes, we want a classless society, except for us and all my friends in government, in which case we get to live like kings, you know?
The classless society. The Cold War rivalry between the Soviet Union and the United States dominated global politics from the late 1940s to the early 1990s. This ideological and geopolitical struggle led to proxy wars, espionage, and
Work or starve, work and starve.
And the arms race, including the space race. Internally, the Soviet Union struggled with ethnic tensions and economic inefficiencies, exacerbated by a rigid bureaucratic system and lack of political freedoms. Attempts at reform, like Nikita Khrushchev's de-Stalinization efforts in the 19...
Is that Walter White cooking meth with the Teletubbies?
Freedoms. Attempts at reform, like Nikita Khrushchev's de-Stalinization efforts in the 1950s and 1960s, and
Deng Xiaoping did the same with Mao after he died, right? It's like both of them when Stalin and Mao died. Mao was a huge fanboy of Stalin, I know that. And when Khrushchev took over and started to do more reform and say Stalin was a bad guy and everything, then that's where a big Soviet-Chinese split happened, where they weren't exactly friends anymore. But I mean, the USSR and China after you know, Deng Xiaoping took over and after Khrushchev took over, seemed to really do the growth in that area because they were lessening the pure communism. And a lot of people who are more communist socialists get mad at them, but it's like they became much more powerful because of these reduced, you know, by the book communist political execution ideology.
Mikhail Gorbachev's policies of glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring in the 1980s, ultimately contributed to the unraveling of the Soviet. Gorbachev's policies of glasnost, openness, and perestroika, restructuring in the 1980s, ultimately contributed to the unraveling of the Soviet system in 19.
So maybe I feel like this is like, would you rather be feared or loved? And maybe this was a neither, because I would love to learn. Like, did the Soviet collapse in one day? Like it was there and then boom, it's gone, or was it like yes, it is collapsing and breaking up, but over the next year we're gonna divvy stuff up a bit? Or was it immediate? Like,
amid
boom.
growing political unrest, economic turmoil, and nationalist movements in its constituent republics, the Soviet Union collapsed. Its dissolution marked the end of the Cold War era and the emergence of independent states in its former territories. And of course, in the 21st century, or in the first 24 years of it, the U.S.
Who is that? Is that Luxembourg? No, that's Russia. Isn't the Luxembourg flag kind of like that? What is that flag? What is that flag? To Uzbekistan? Turkmenistan? Romania? What are these flags?
And of course, in the 21st century, or in the first 24 years of it, the USA is the strongest. The United States of America, often referred to simply as the USA, is a large country located in North America.
Invade Canada.
Canada to the north, Mexico to the south,
yeah,
the Atlantic Ocean to the east, and
Mexico.
the Pacific Ocean to the west. It consists of 50 states, a federal district.
Can you see? Is it say Rhode Island right there? That's me, guys. I'm right there.
Washington, D.C., the USA has a diverse population of over 330 million people, representing a wide range of ethnicities, cultures, and religions. Its history.
I feel like we've had 330 million people, like for 25 years now. Like I thought we were growing. Or maybe we were at like 300 million.
Representing a wide range of ethnicities, cultures, and religions. Its history is marked by immigration, starting with indigenous peoples who inhabited the land thousands of years ago, followed by waves of European colonization, forced migration of African slaves, and later influxes of immigrants from all over the world. The USA is known for its strong military and economy, which is the largest in the world by nominal GDP.
Yeah, this is crazy. I'm American. I'm trying not to toot it, but do you know that I saw a TikTok, not a YouTube short, where they divided the world into 4 quarters of global economy, like so that like each portion of the world like represented 1/4 of the world economy entirety, and America actually had to lose a few states to be 25% because we were over 25%. That's freaking crazy. I know I'm American and I'm saying that, so it sounds kind of like snobby, whatever, but I just, if that was any other country, I would just say that's crazy. One country.
The country plays a significant role in global politics, economics, and culture, often influencing international trends and events. Role in global politics,
I love this video.
Culture.
Some third world country buys oil. USA? Is that for me? No. Oh, well, okay. That's fine, man. Order airstrikes right now. Blame it on pores. That was really funny and informative. I enjoyed that a lot. They definitely deserve more subscribers. Doctor Explain, guys, definitely check them out. Yeah. Love y'all. Hope you're all doing well. Would appreciate any comments down below. Anything I said that was just stupid or wrong, call me out. It's a great possibility. And any questions I ask, I love any answers. You guys are always awesome with that in the comments. Any comments at all, appreciated. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Chin up.